everyone, welcome to part 2 of my in-depth review of the new Necron Codex. As always, my name is Jay, and today I'll be going over the HQs. Now, the HQs for the new Necron Codex. Same HQs as before. No one got really removed other than Imhotep got moved to a Lord of War, as I predicted. He's a Storm Lord, so now he's a Storm Lord of War. Makes sense. And basically, to sum up the HQs, they all got pretty much improved. Their special rules got quasi-nerfed in the sense to make them more streamlined for 7th edition. The rules tend to become a lot less complicated and tend to more focus on a more streamlined game. And that was consistent with the other codices as well, and you found this in the new Codex. And as I mentioned in the previous video, there's a new detachment in which you are required to take at least one Overlord, and you can obviously substitute any of the other Overlords in place. So today we'll be going over the HQs. Yeah, and as I said in the previous video, I don't see the amount of... you may want to take an artifact or two, but I don't really... and maybe a couple things, but I don't think the amount of things you're going to be taking is going to be very much in this new Codex. In the previous one, like, you'd soup up your Overlord and add 8 things to him. In this one, I think maybe 2 or 3, and he'll be still kicking butt. Yeah. So we'll start off with the Overlord. New model. Yes, I'm happy with the new model, by the way. I'll be doing an unboxing of it soon. 80 points for Overlord. Base Overlord, 80 points. And for 80 points, you get an improved Overlord. He used to be more expensive. He used to be 90 points, so a 10-point drop. And basically, he went up 1 ballistic skill and 1 weapon skill. He's now weapon skill, ballistic skill 5. Strength, toughness 5. 3 wounds. Initiative 2. 3 attacks. Leadership 10. 3 plus save. And... for that points, you get a Staff of Light. He's an independent character and has reanimation protocols. As I said, he no longer has the other rule. I believe it was like Ever Living or whatever it was called, because he doesn't need any more. Once he dies, he's dead. There's no more getting back up again. He could take weapons. Now, for the Overlord, I'd actually think about taking the artifact, the Veil of Darkness. No, yeah, Veil of Darkness for 25 points. Or sorry, Nightmare Shroud. That was it. Gives him a 2+ armor save, which is pretty sweet for 35 points. Or a War Scythe, I think it'll be mandatory. War Scythe is now 20 points. It used to be 10 points. But now for 20 points, you get... He's got 10 points cheaper anyway, so it kind of balances itself out. You give him a Strength 7. It's now Strength 7, AP 2. Pretty nasty in close combat. That one artifact I mentioned will give him a 2-up armor save. That might be worth it. And let's look at the things right now that you can upgrade him with, because then we'll discuss them. Other things you may want to give him: a Phase Shifter, which gives a 4+ invulnerable save. Not bad. He used to have access to a 3-up, no more. That might be a good one. And the other one is that a Phylactery would give him It Will Not Die if you want. I don't really see that being that amazing. Phylacteries are now... How much is Phylactery? 15 points for It Will Not Die. Not terrible. A Resorb, 25 points. Again, if you want to use it that one time only, pop it, re-roll your things, go for it. 25 points, it's a bit expensive, but it could be worth it under certain circumstances for sure. So up to you. But as I said, so a few things, and he's upgraded, and he's kicking butt. There's not like those 8 things that you have to take before. Now, of course, a Lord, because he's part of your royal court. Lords also got better. They got an extra attack. No, sorry, extra wound. I believe now they have 2 wounds. Pretty much everything else is the same, other than the fact that they got more expensive. So they went from 35 points to 50 points now. They also come with the Staff of Light, so you probably want to give them a War Scythe as well for some close combat nastiness. And once again, Mind Shackle Scarabs, 3d6 Fear Test. If you want to take it, go for it. I don't see its usefulness as much as the old one, because a lot of things are fearless still these days. Against, Tyranids, you'll have problems. Against any Space Marine, you'll have problems. Yeah, so for 50 points, you get a 2 wounds. So he's weapon skill, skill 4, strength toughness 5, 2 wounds, initiative 2, 2 attacks, leadership 10, 3 plus save. So pretty standard guy. And you have to take one of them if you want to take a royal court formation. So pretty standard. Up next, the Cryptek. And the Crypteks got more expensive, a lot more expensive, and they got a lot more streamlined. So Crypteks are now 65 points. They used to be 25, so huge change. But of course, now it's just a standard Cryptek. Comes with a Staff of Light. He has Technomancer, which means They receive a +1 bonus to reanimation protocols, which again stacks but doesn't stack because you can't stack it +4+. So if you're not taking the formation, if you're not taking the detachment, I'd definitely recommend taking a Cryptek because he gets a +1, so it drops from a 5+ to a 4+, which is great for the reanimation protocol. So yeah, and he's also good if you're taking the detachment and you're up against a lot of strength 8+ weaponry or instant death weaponry like Eldar Wraith lists. It'd be good. 65 points. He's weapon skill 4, strength toughness 4, 2 wounds again, so he went up from 1 wound to 2 wounds. Initiative 2, 1 attack, leadership 10. And he can take a bunch of different weapons as well, but it's pretty much gone. Like the Chronometron now is different. Like all the cool tools that the Cryptex had access to are very much gone. It's a very streamlined, simple model. Very few things you can take. Yeah, like you can take access from the artifacts or the Techno Arcana. So let's look at the Techno Arcana. Again, you can take a Chronometron, which is 5+ invulnerable save against shooting attacks. You know, nothing too crazy. I don't know. Melee weapons. I would personally take a... You could give him a War Scythe if you want. You know, so he's strength +2, AP 2, melee, armor bane, 2-handed. But, yeah, that's a Cryptek. So +1 bonus to your reanimation protocols. It doesn't stack. It does stack, of course, with the other rules. So if you're up against instant death weapons, still 4-up. Now, up next, the Destroyer Lord. 110 points. 110 points, much cheaper. Used to be 125, so 15 points cheaper. Not bad at all. And he's basically the same old guy as before. But he had not much change with him. But he's 15 points cheaper. He's weapon skill 4, strength 5, toughness 6, 3 wounds, initiative 2, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 3 up save. He's a jetpack infantry. I don't know if he used to be jump pack or jetpack. Maybe now he's jetpack. That might have changed. I don't remember. Let's look at the old codex. And see. Was he jetpack before or jump pack before? He used to be jump infantry. Now he's jetpack infantry. So that's a bit of a change. So, yeah, so not as fast, but can jump around in the assault phase. Interesting stuff. He still has independent characters, preferred enemy, reanimation protocols, staff of light. Again, you may want to give him a War Scythe. Jump him into close combat. Have some fun. Nemesis Zandrek is up next. And he's fun now. He's really fun. I think so. 150 points. So, again, bunch of points dropped. He used to be 185. 35 point drop. Increase in weapon skill ballistic skill. So he's pretty much everyone in the HQ's got an increase in weapon skill ballistic skill. So weapon skill ballistic skill 5, strength toughness 5, 3 wounds, initiative 2, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 2+ save. He has a staff of light and a phase shifter. His warlord trait is eternal madness, but he has adaptive tactics. So if Nemesis Zendrek is your warlord, you may select a different warlord trait for him. No d6 is necessary, so you just choose a different one from the codex each turn, at the start of each friendly turn after the first. This replaces the existing warlord trait, so the first turn he has eternal madness, and then from then on, he just choose whichever one you want. That's pretty fun. Each turn you're like, you just gotta remember to choose. But those warlord traits, again, you can give himself Eternal Warrior from then on, so after turn 1, he has Eternal Warrior. That's pretty sweet. But he cannot choose, this can be from the table on page 112, or any of the warlord traits, but he cannot choose the same warlord trait more than once per game. Okay, so you can't choose one per game. But that might be fun in... I guess, like, if you're playing, that might be really nasty in Maelstrom of War missions, because then you can just choose a different trait each time, and some of them may apply. Interesting. Counter tactics, while he's within 24 inches of an enemy, this is the fun part as well. When he is within 24 inches of an enemy, with any of the following special rules, counterattack, furious charge, hit and run, split fire, stealth, tank hunters, then Zandrek and his unit also have the same special rule. So if you're up against guys who have stealth, you have stealth. As long as you're within 24 inches of them. Fun stuff there. So he's a fun guy. I gotta paint him up and start including him in my Necron army. Of course, you can't have Zendrek without Oberon. He's his bodyguard. Oberon got slightly nerfed. I believe 1 less attack. He's now 120 points, so again, much cheaper. He used to be 160, so 40 points. you know, a quarter of points gone. Pretty sweet. He lost an attack, so now he is. He lost an attack and a wound, I believe. He now only has 2 wounds and 3 attacks. I think he used to have 4 attacks and 3 wounds. Still weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 4, strength toughness 5, 2 wounds, initiative 2, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 2 save. He has a war scythe, and he automatically passes the initiative test required to make glorious intervention. And cleaving counter blow. When fighting in a challenge, Vanguard Oberon gains a bonus attack for each attack made by an enemy character against him that fails. So if his enemy, and this goes at initiative 1. So regardless of when your opponent goes, for every attack that fails, he gets an automatic attack at initiative 1. Pretty fun, nasty stuff. And his weapon skill 6, so his opponent's going to probably fail half his attacks. And his Ghost Walk Mantle, which he can jump out of the, you know, he can jump away and teleport once per game, even if he's in close combat. Yeah. And they will not scatter if attempting deep strike within 12 inches of Zandrak. Yeah, but this has no effect if Zandrak and Oberon are part of the same unit. Up next, Illuminor's Zaraz. So Zaraz, 110 points. Yep. Used to be 100, and now he's 110. Okay, so we got it 10 points. More expensive, I believe. Let me go check that one. Was he 110? I think it was 110, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so he went up by 10 points. He's basically the same as before. He, weapon skill, ballistic skill 4, strength toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 2, 4 attacks, leadership 10. He has fear, independent character, reanimation protocols, mechanical. I don't know if he had fear before. I think that might have been a new one. I don't remember. I think he might not have had fear before. Mechanicum augmentation. At the start of each game turn, you can choose, nominate one friendly unit of Necron warriors or immortals. All models in the nominated unit receive an upgrade for the duration of the game. Roll a d6 and consult the following table. 1 to 2, toughness 5, 3 to 4, ballistic skill 5, 5 to 6, enhanced strength 5. He is Lord of Technomancy, which Zaraz and all friendly models with animation protocols, including his own unit, receive +1 bonus. Once again, it stacks, but not better than 4 up. And he has an Eldritch Lance, which is 36 in range, strength 8, AP 2, assault 1 lance. Great for popping vehicles. Necrons are still going to have no problems against vehicles. Up next, Orkin the Diviner. There's a lot of HQs, I noticed, in this particular codex. Orkin the Diviner, once again, cheaper, 120 points. Used to be 165, 45 point drop. Huge drop. And he's pretty fun, too. He has a phase shifter, independent character, reanimation protocols. He has his 2 modes. They were the same as before. So his normal mode is 4, is weapon skill 4, strength toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 2, 2 attacks. But once again, you roll. This is where it still gets. They kind of removed a couple lines of wording that doesn't make sense to me. This is kind of a little iffy. I think they're going to have to FAQ it because the words that they removed from the previous codex made it more understandable. But it said in the previous one, you roll a d6, and if you roll under the game turn, he becomes the super mode for the rest of the game, until you roll over the game turn again. But this one says, roll a d6 at the start of each friendly turn. If the result is less than the current turn number, Orkin uses the Orkin empowered profile for the rest of the game. So I'm guessing what that means is, I'm maybe just overthinking about it. So for the rest of the game. So if you're on turn 2, you roll a 1, he becomes Super Orkin and kicks butt. If Orkin suffered an unsaved wound before becoming empowered, he will have 3 wounds instead of 4. Cool. So Orkin is now Super Orkin. Yes. Since he usually only has 2 wounds, now, obviously, it goes up to Super Mode. Weapon skill is 5, strength toughness 7, 4 wounds, initiative 4, 4 attacks, leadership 10. So he's a pretty fun guy. I should try him out in games. He might be a lot of fun to use. And he's a Master Chronomancer, and he gives a +1 bonus to reanimation protocols as well. And can reroll saving throws of 1 for all models within his unit. They can +1 bonus, and they can reroll saving throws of 1. So that's pretty sweet. And Rakir the Traveler is up next. He got cheaper, but got really nerfed in his cool superpower. So, up to you if you want to take him. He's now 160 points. He used to be 165? So, Slightly cheaper. 5 points. His attack gun arrow and a war scythe. His special rules, he has counterattack, furious charge, independent character, reanimation protocols, and he has Mind of the Machine, but Mind of the Machine got worse. Because it used to be 24 inches, roll on a 4+, on a 3+, he takes control of the vehicle, I believe, and they could fire as normal. Now it's only 12 inches, and it's on a 4+, randomly select one of the opponent's vehicle's weapons, so it's random now. So instead of taking control of the opponent's vehicle and shooting it, you now take control over it on a 4+, 12-inch range, and it only is a random weapon, so it may not be that good. Up to you. And he also has Pyrian Eternals. At the start of the game, before force if deployed, nominate one friendly unit of Immortals, which you have to take if you want to take the detachment. All models in that unit have Furious Charge and Counterattack Special Rule. Cool stuff there. Up next, Trazan the Infinite. Trazan, the Collector guy. 130 points. Once again, huge points drops. It's like everything's good price now. He's 175, now he's 130. 45 point drop now. That's amazing. He has Weapon Skill plus Skill 5, Strength Toughness 5. So once again, better Weapon Skill plus Skill. Or no, maybe it's, yeah, maybe I've lost a Strength. Let me compare these with the old Codex. No, he's the same old guy. So, Weapon Skill plus Skill 5, Strength Toughness 5, 3 wounds, Initiative 2, 3 attacks, Leadership 10, 3 up save. And once again, he has the ability, once he dies, you can nominate a another Necron infantry character, and he replaces him on a 2+. Cool stuff. And if they're locked in combat, and he comes back with D3 wounds remaining. He has the Emphatic Obliterator. This is kind of cool. It is a Strength plus 2, 8b4, melee concussive, psionic shockwaves, and if a character is slain in a challenge by an attack with his weapon, all models within 6 inches with the same faction suffer a Strength 4 AP dash hit. So it could be good. Finally, this is kind of cool. Rather than having a normal Overlord and having the option of taking a command barge, now it's just an option in the Codex. An HQ selection choice is now 135 points, so it's much cheaper. It used to be 170 combined for a base Overlord plus the Catacomb Command Barge. Now it's just a Catacomb Command Barge. It's just an option. It's 135 points for the Overlord already in it. Like it's the Overlord and the Command Barge itself. So you get an Overlord, which is Weapon Skill plus Skill 5, Strength Toughness 5, 3 wounds, Initiative 2, 3 attacks, Leadership 10, 3 up save. And it's a vehicle, chariot, skimmer, fast, open-topped character. Catacomb Command Barge is basically the same as before. 11 around, 3 all points, but it has quantum shielding, which makes it 13 until it's impenned. Staff of Light, and I'd replace it with the War Scythe, obviously, on the Overlord. And that's it. Command Wave. But then, there's a new rule. Command Wave. All friendly units with the Necrons faction within 12 inches of the Catacomb Command Barge reroll all field morale, penny, and fear tests. Great if you want to keep them alive. That's a solid bonus. If your Warlord is a Catacomb Command Barge with the immortal Hubris Warlord trait, this special rule instead affects all friendly units with the Necrons faction within 18 inches of your Warlord. Great stuff. So you're set there. So that basically concludes my, that does conclude my HQ section review. So as I said, everything got cheaper. Cheaper across the board, other than Cryptex, who got really streamlined. Not that many options, not that many cool gimmicks anymore, and they got much more expensive. And Lords, which also got an additional wound, so did the Cryptex, and a bit more expensive, 50 points of 35. But yeah, if you want to take a Royal Court, up to you. I don't know about the Royal Court. I'm still thinking about it. Maybe good. May not be. Seems like the Cryptex got kind of nerfed in a lot of their fun ways, but yeah, overall, can't really complain. All the HQs basically got cheaper. The Catacomb Command Barge to me is still the best option overall. I love it. Soup up an Overlord, put him in a Command Barge, let him run around the battlefield slaughtering everything. You know, that to me would be the best choice. As far as the other guys go, Lords, still good. Cryptech, Destroyer Lords might be good, but now they're Jetpack. Nemesis Zandrik is a lot of fun. Nemesis Zandrik and Oberon are still going to be a fun combination. If you loved them before, you're going to love them still. Rerolling your Warlord trait every turn. Or not rerolling, choosing a new Warlord trait every turn. Could be pretty fun and strategic. Zaraz, pretty cool. Orkin the Diviner, if you get him to super mode, he's pretty nasty. Traveler, I wouldn't recommend as much. He lost his gimmick. A lot of his gimmick, at least. Trazan the Infinite is still good if you liked him before. You'll like him still now. And Catacomb Command Barge, I think is the best option, if not just a bare Overlord. Not bare Overlord, an Overlord outside of Command Barge. I still think Command Barges are sick. Yeah, it did lose, again, it did lose its ability for, I don't know, sweeping. Yeah, I still think Command Barges are going to be nasty. So, thank you very much for watching this episode of my review of the new Necron Codex. I really hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment in the comment section down below if you agree with what I say, if you disagree with what I say, if anything else to add. Please leave a discussion. We'll create a huge discussion, discuss the HQ selection, and yeah, and what do you think about this new Codex? So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and leave a comment in the comment section down below. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting.